a Wikividi Documentaries production. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Enjoy. Liverpool F.C. Manchester United FC rivalry. The Liverpool FC Manchester United FC rivalry, also known as the North West Derby, is a high-profile inter-city rivalry between English Professional Association football clubs Liverpool and Manchester United. It is considered to be one of the biggest rivalries in the association football world, along with the Old Firm Derby in Scotland, Superclásico in Argentina, El Clásico in Spain, and Derby della Madonnina in Italy, and is considered the most famous fixture in English football. Players, fans, and the media alike often consider games between the two clubs to be their biggest rivalry, above even their own local derby competitions, with Everton and Manchester City, respectively. The rivalry has been fueled by the proximity of the two major cities that they represent, their historic economic and industrial rivalry, significant periods of domestic footballing dominance and European success, and their popularity at home and abroad. As two of the biggest earning and widely supported football clubs in the world, the two clubs are the most successful English teams in both domestic and European competitions. And between them they have won 38 league titles, 8 European Cups, 4 UEFA Cups, 4 UEFA Super Cups, 19 FA Cups, 13 League Cups, 1 FIFA Club World Cup, 1 Intercontinental Cup, and 36 FA Community Shields. Each club can claim historical supremacy over the other, United for their 20 league titles to Liverpool's 18, and Liverpool for being European champions 5 times to United's 3. Manchester United have won more total trophies than Liverpool, and they also lead the Merseysiders in so-called major honours as well. Inter-city rivals. The cities of Liverpool and Manchester are located in the northwest of England, 35 miles apart. Since the Industrial Revolution, there has been a consistent theme of rivalry between the two cities based around economic and industrial competition. Manchester through to the 18th century was the far more populous city, and held a position of significance and notability as representative of the North. By the late 18th century, Liverpool had grown as a major seaport critical to the growth and success of the northern cotton mills. Over the next century, Liverpool grew to supersede Manchester, and throughout the late 19th and early 20th century was often described as the British Empire's second city. The links between the two cities were strengthened with the construction of the Bridgewater Canal, the Mersey and Irwell navigation in the Liverpool and Manchester Railway for the transport of raw materials inland. The construction of the Manchester Ship Canal, funded by Manchester merchants, was opposed by Liverpool politicians and bred resentment between the two cities. Tension between working-class Liverpool dockers and labourers in Manchester was heightened after its completion in 1894, just 3 months prior to the first meeting between Liverpool and Newton Heath in a play-off match that would see Newton Heath relegated to the second division. Today, the crests of both the City of Manchester and Manchester United include stylised ships representing the Manchester Ship Canal and Manchester's trade routes. The ship is also included on the crest of many other Mancunian institutions such as Manchester City Council, and rivals Manchester City FC. Post-war shifts in economic ties, reliance on regional coal, and shifts in transatlantic trade patterns caused by the growth of Asian labour markets caused the gradual decline of British manufacturing. While the city of Liverpool suffered the loss of its primary source of income to southern port cities, Manchester maintained some of its manufacturing heritage. This reversal of fortunes happened against the backdrop of shifting political backgrounds and significant events in British culture and society in the second half of the 20th century. The two cities continue to be strong regional rivals, vying for influence of surrounding areas. Their continued importance to the UK economy has been reflected with the awarding of the 2002 Commonwealth Games to Manchester, while Liverpool was awarded the title of 2008 European Capital of Culture as part of its ongoing regeneration. More recent projects by Peel Ports have sought to re-establish the economic links between the Port of Liverpool and Port of Manchester, including redeveloping trade links via the Manchester Ship Canal. Formation to 1945. Manchester United FC was formed in Newton Heath in 1878 as Newton Heath Lear FC and played their first competitive match in October 1886. when they entered the first round of the 1886-87 FA Cup. Liverpool FC was formed in 1892 following a disagreement between the board of Everton and club president John Holding, who owned the club's ground, Anfield. The disagreement between the two parties over rent resulted in Everton moving to Goodison Park from Anfield, and Holding founded Liverpool FC to play in the vacated stadium. Liverpool's first season was in the second division in 1893. The team went undefeated all season, winning the title and being put up for election to the first division, which would see them play a one-off test match against the bottom side of the first division for their place. The team that Liverpool were to face was Newton Heath, whom they beat 2-0 to take their place in the first tier. Liverpool won their first Football League Championship trophy in 1901 and followed it up in 1906, the same season that saw the newly renamed Manchester United promoted to the top flight after finishing as second division runners-up behind Bristol City. 2 seasons later, by which time Liverpool had fallen into mid-table, Manchester United secured their first league title, winning the 1907-08 Football League by 9 points from Aston Villa and Manchester City. They followed this up by winning the first ever FA Charity Shield match when they defeated Queen's Park Rangers over 2 legs in 1908. The following season, they won the 1909 FA Cup final, and followed this up with another league title and Charity Shield in 1911. The outbreak of the First World War disrupted domestic football, and following the resumption of competitions in 1919, Liverpool asserted themselves on domestic football with a brace of league championships, while United found themselves in steep decline that saw them relegated in 1923. Between 1923 and the outbreak of the Second World War, neither team won any more competitive trophies outside of local regional trophies, with Manchester United spending 3 separate periods in the second division. 1945 to 1992. After the Second World War, Liverpool again became English champions in 1947 before the club's roles reversed once more, with the Merseysiders dropping into the second tier as Manchester United found stability under the management of former Liverpool captain Matt Busby, winning the FA Cup in 1948 and then 3 league titles and Charity Shields apiece in the 1950s. During this time, future Liverpool manager Bill Shankly was approached by then Liverpool chairman Tom Williams and asked, "How would you like to manage the best club in the country?" "Why?" Shankly replied. "Is Matt Busby packing it in?" Following Liverpool's promotion under Shankly in 1962, the two clubs found themselves in direct competition with each other for the first time, sharing 4 league titles between 1964 and 1967, as well as the 1965 FA Charity Shield. Following this, though, the two sides began to drift in opposite directions once more. United's title victory of 1967 would be their last for 26 years, while Liverpool would enjoy nearly 20 years of sustained success, winning 11 league titles, 19 domestic cups and 7 European trophies from 1972 to 1992. United's main reprieves during this time came through cup competitions, such as their triumphs over the Merseysiders in the 1977 FA Cup final and the 1979 FA Cup semi-final replay at Goodison Park. It was during this period, in the late 70s and early 80s, that the modern-day rivalry between the two clubs truly began to get heated. According to football sociologist John Williams, United had developed a glamour and media profile, but didn't have the success to match it, and Liverpool fans felt the Red Devils were media darlings who got far too much publicity. There was a perception in Liverpool that their hugely successful, but professional and workmanlike teams were always somehow in the shadow of the stars at Old Trafford. This led to a derisory United nickname in Liverpool, the Glams. 1992 present. Manchester United's 26-year spell without a league title has been mirrored by Liverpool since 1990, when the Reds clinched their last league title. Meanwhile, United's dominance since 1990 has seen them win 13 league titles, 23 domestic cups and 7 European trophies. Once again, cup glories such as the 2003 League Cup and 2006 FA Cup allowed Liverpool some retribution against their rivals. Despite their contrasting fortunes, though only 6 times since 1972 have neither Liverpool nor United finished in the top 2 of the league table in 1980-81, 2003-04, 2004-05, 2014-15, 2015-16 and 2016-17, and even during 5 of those 6 campaigns, another piece of silverware was still taken home by one of the 2 clubs. Liverpool paraded the European Cup and League Cup in 1981, while Manchester United lifted the FA Community Shield and FA Cup in the 2004 season, and Liverpool claimed the Champions League in 2005. United brought home the FA Cup again in 2016, and they won a treble of trophies consisting of the Community Shield, League Cup and UEFA Europa League in 2016-17. Notable managers. While Liverpool and Manchester United's successes are almost identical in number, their systems of achieving these successes vary considerably. Liverpool built their dominance on a dynasty known as the Anfield Boot Room. The Boot Room itself was where strategy for future matches was planned. However, it became a breeding ground for future Liverpool managers following the arrival of Bill Shankly in 1959. The original members were Shankly himself, Bob Paisley, Joe Fagan, and Ruben Bennett, although the likes of Kenny Dalglish joined later on, following Shankly's retirement in 1974. Having secured 8 trophies in 15 years, Bob Paisley stepped into the vacant manager's position and amassed 20 trophies in 9 seasons. Following his retirement, Joe Fagan took over and in the first of 2 seasons at the club, won a treble of trophies. Kenny Dalglish, while not an original member, was accepted into the group as the next in line for the role of manager, and he combined it with his playing duties to win Liverpool 10 trophies. The Boot Room connection was finally broken in 1991, 32 years after Shankly's arrival, with the appointment of Graham Souness, who actually demolished the Boot Room itself to make way for a press room. It did still manage to produce a final Liverpool manager in Roy Evans, who won the League Cup, but upon his resignation in 1998, the era was over. In contrast, Manchester United have succeeded thanks to the services of 3 extraordinary men, all decades apart, without the need for continuity, and sustained success beyond each man's departure. Out of the 66 trophies that United have won, 56 have come thanks to the exploits of Ernest Mangnall, Sir Matt Busby, and Sir Alex Ferguson. Mangnall was the first great manager of Manchester United, securing 5 trophies within a 3-year time span of 1908-11. Following his departure to local rivals Manchester City a year later, it would not be until Busby's arrival 33 years later that the club would be on the trophy trail again. Busby became United's second most decorated manager of all time, winning 13 trophies at the club including the 1968 European Cup, which saw an English team secure European football's top prize for the first time. After Busby's retirement in 1969 though, Manchester United saw their fortunes slip and the club struggled to stay successful until Alex Ferguson's arrival 17 years later, during which time United only won 3 FA Cups and 2 Charity Shields. It was only under the Scot that United regained their glory days, winning 38 trophies during his 26-year tenure to scale the pinnacles of both English and European football. However, since Ferguson's retirement in 2013, the club has gone on the wane again, finishing in the top 4 of the league just once in 4 seasons, although there has been frequent success in cup competitions. Brought to you by WikiVidi Documentaries. Would you like to know more?